The Olympics in Paris. Just plain evil and lots of other things going on, controversial there. Welcome to the last dispensation. You're living in it. Okay, brothers and sisters, welcome back once again to the last dispensation. And I would also like to welcome once again Christian Zebarth, who is a regular contributor off and on to the program. Christian, welcome.
Thank you. Good to be back.
Right on. We're going to talk about the Olympics here for a second. What's going on, man? I've heard recently that I didn't watch it. This was the opening ceremonies, right?
Correct.
So what happened?
I don't know about the whole thing, but the one part that really caught a lot of attention and a lot of playback and a lot of commentary was when they had a segment where they were apparently mocking the Last Supper scene.
Yeah.
And it had a number of drag queens and stuff. And with one child there who kind of looked, from what I could tell, like they didn't really want to be there, or like they were kind of maybe pressured into it or cajoled into it. And this really got a lot of people talking. I think people have done different, riffs and parodies of the Last Supper painting before. This one just seemed to really take it to a new kind of raunchy level, and I'm not really sure why they would pick to do choose to do anything about the Last Supper at an Olympics thing. It doesn't seem like the right subject matter anyway. So a lot of people are saying, well, they were openly mocking Christianity.
Yeah, well, it's interesting because, like you said, there's been artists that have done things like that. Like, we can understand, oh, that happened in the inner city of San Francisco, the Bay Area, or LA, or Philadelphia, or New York City. And we go, yeah, whatever, This is a family program. The world is watching this. Do we know who was behind this? Who put it on? Who did the planning for this?
I don't know. I imagine it's going to come out, and you're saying the Olympics are supposed to be for the world. It really is supposed to be uniting the world. It has the colored rings coming together. It's supposed to be for everybody,
right.
Every age, just everybody anywhere. That's what it's supposed to be for. Who it's supposed to be for.
It's interesting because they're saying when you look up something about the uniqueness of the opening ceremonies, the first thing that you see is, for the first time, the ceremony was held outside the stadium, taking place along the river Seine. Is that what it's pronounced? I forget.
Seine or Seine or something. I've heard everybody approaches those vowels a little differently.
Let me see what the pronunciation.
Seine.
Okay.
Seine. The river Seine.
Okay.
But as I look through, as I research, there were 300,000 people live watching this.
Wow.
And the only thing really that you can find is it says that, well, I'm talking about.
Do you mean there in person, 300,000 people?
Yeah. 300,000 people,
Okay.
Spectators watched from the riverbanks. And of course it was free. Because I don't think they charge for the opening ceremonies unless it's inside a stadium. So this was interesting. You would think
You would have to have a ticket.
Yeah, and they did lose some revenue there. Uh, but was it for an agenda? Um, so they're saying, it featured various artistic acts celebrating the French culture. Um, a cabaret inspired performance by Lady Gaga, performances by French artists Aya Nakamura and Rim K, a rendition of John Lennon's Imagine. Did you watch all of this?
No, I did not. I usually catch highlights of the Olympics later on, but
Oh, okay.
now this time the Olympics started, and I read a little bit about it in the paper. Actually, the mini page. I don't know if you remember that, but I looked at it last Sunday about the Paris Olympics are coming soon, and then the next thing I know, I'm hearing all this stuff about they're mocking Christianity with this drag queen Last Supper performance. And then there was a whole uproar, and I've seen people on Facebook saying, "We turned off the TV. We're not watching any more of the Olympics now." But I think that more will come out about it as time goes on, and give it a few days, and we'll get more information about it. Is my suspicion. And they had some kind of, I don't know, terrorist attack or something on the railway a day or two ago
Well,
as
yeah,
well.
these were the other controversies that I pulled up. Um, apparently, there's several uh, bad things or stigma surrounding the Olympics right now. The hijab, is that how you pronounce it? The hijab ban for French athletes.
Yeah, the thing that the Muslim women wear.
Yeah. So France barred its athletes from wearing the hijab while participating in the games. Um,
Oh,
apparently, this decision sparked a bunch of criticism, widespread criticism, and protests, Christian. Um, and particularly, uh, well, especially considering that France is large because they have a very large Muslim population. So that's interesting. You would think that they would be the opposite. But why I don't know. Do you have any reason why you think they would have done that? Why wouldn't they be allowed to wear the hijab? And we're not
I
talking during, it says even in the they would be allowed to wear it in the Olympic Village, but not during competitions. So,
yeah, I don't know. They have become largely Muslim there in France, which doesn't seem like it would be a Muslim country. Do they are they trying to influence the image that's being projected to the world now? And are there Muslim athletes from France that wish they could wear it? I don't know. I mean, there's more to explore here, but I
good questions.
feel like there's a little cognitive dissonance going on their part.
It also says call to ban Israel due to Israel's ongoing military actions in Gaza. There have been calls for Palestinians and pro-Palestine protesters to exclude Israel from the Olympics. But, however, the IOC has stated that there is no question about Israeli teams and athletes participating in Paris. Workers' rights issues. There have been concerns about the rights, wages, and working conditions of laborers involved in Olympics-related construction projects. I don't see why. That's employment. Um, at least 181 workplace accidents, including 31 serious ones already.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, have been reported on
Okay.
Olympic construction sites. But I don't know. Isn't that kind of a normal thing? I would think. The water
Yeah,
quality.
I don't know who it compares
What?
to other years.
What's that?
I don't know how those numbers compare to other years and other places. I
Yeah,
don't know if
right.
that's high or low. Or
Right. Like, what are we comparing it to?
one thing is that they definitely, these cities spend years getting ready for the Olympics, maybe, 5 to 10 years. Um, so they can be ready to be seen by the world when that time comes, and project the best possible image. There's a lot, yeah, construction and everything. So
Yeah.
hopefully people stay safe and uninjured.
Well, even the water quality of the river Seine. Did I pronounce that? It's Seine. Uh, I am going insane.
I was going to make that pun earlier, but there is the thing about water quality. My wife and I were just talking about it um, little bit before our recording here, about how it's like a tradition to swim in there, but at this point in time, it's really dirty water that it's
Yeah.
not advisable to swim in.
Yeah. Apparently, it's failed several water quality tests for the triathlon and other swimming marathons. But Paris City Hall cleared it regardless for swimming less than 2 weeks before the games.
Wow. Okay,
Yeah.
so it'll be very interesting to see what happens there. I mean, are there going to be athletes swimming in there, and it's going to be clear that it's dirty water?
Yeah. I guess so.
From what we saw on a YouTube video explaining that situation, it looked pretty bad. I didn't want to imagine anybody swimming in it for fun or Olympics or anything. I think it also explained how it's hard for them to keep it clean and everything.
Have you
I
been
have
there?
not been there. I have not. I mean, it would be neat to experience Paris and France and all that stuff, the
Yeah.
Louvre.
I
But
have no desire to
I
go
just keep
there.
thinking about so many problems in their country. But
I have no desire to go there at all. I could care less. I know that sounds bad, but I think it's because of the stigma now. I think it's because everybody wants to go to Paris. Everybody wants to go to Italy, right? Or Rome. Um, I don't know. I kind of would like if I'm going to go anywhere, I'd go to Ireland.
oh, I was going to say Ireland myself because I want to go back to my mission area.
Oh, you served there?
Yeah.
That's awesome though that you served in Ireland. That's cool. Russian and Belarusian athletes' participation initially banned from world sports. We're not going to ban Israel, but we're going to ban Russia because Russia invaded Ukraine. Okay, well, Israel invaded Palestine, but it doesn't fit the narrative. It doesn't fit the
There's
narrative.
always different things like that where they'll say, it's okay for somebody to do this, but it's not okay for somebody else to do the same thing.
Right, double standard, right?
Always so much to be
That's usually because of something, right? Something going on.
narratives, yeah, that are being pushed.
Yep. But some Russian and Belarusian athletes have been allowed to compete as neutrals. Go figure.
Yeah, they can compete, but they can't say they're affiliated with Russia.
Yeah.
So then I don't know how that works out. If they win a medal, does Russia claim it? Say, well, everybody knows that was one of our people.
Poor Vladimir. I feel sorry for him.
Because he's such a great guy.
So it's going to be interesting to see the fallout or the aftermath of the Last Supper performance. I don't like to pearl clutch and be offended at everything, but it seemed like there could have been something a little deliberate going on here.
You think so?
I I'm leaning that way, but I want to see how things go more. But as time goes on and we learn more, but I I feel like it could have just been approached
Yeah.
better anyway.
Right. Hold on. Hold on. Hello? Command. So, come here and say hi. No, not you, Nicholas. Oh, Nicholas will say hi later.
Hi, how are you?
Hi there.
This is first counselor in the stake presidency, President Myers.
Oh, you're gonna
Come here and say hi. He's
Oh.
a good friend of mine.
Hi, how are you?
Hi.
So I gotta take this papers over and
I heard there's a car
Okay.
sale going on.
Yeah. I guess I have to leave now, but hold on. Let's wrap this up. I'm sorry. So there's three more. Security concerns. The French government reduced the number of spectators for the opening ceremony from 600,000 to 300,000. So at first there was going to be 600,000 due to security precautions. That's crazy. Disruption to Parisian life. Is it Parisians? Is that how you pronounce it? People living in Parisians. So let me start that over. Disruption to Parisian life. Many resident Parisians expressed concern about the games disrupting. So we're complaining that the Olympics are here, with polls showing that half of residents were planning to leave the city during the event. Protesting, strike actions, and worker protests. Thousands of trade unionists in France threatened to disrupt the Olympics with strike actions, including airport workers and performers for the opening ceremonies. So these controversies, Christian, they've added complexity. They've added all kinds of stuff to, and doggone it, everybody's calling me. Perception
there's
of
definitely multiple things going on.
Yeah. You know, we've got religious freedom, international religious freedom. Baloney. This is not religious freedom. This is religious persecution, workers' rights issues, international politics, environmental concerns, and the impact goes on and on. I'm sorry, Christian, that I had to wrap it up, but I have to go buy a car.
Yeah, okay.
All right.
You
Love
do a
you.
good one.
We'll, we'll do.
bless.
He said, God bless. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.